What's up, Internet? I'm back. Already, same day, making another video. Because I feel like I have shit tons of insight to provide. You know what I mean? And I got a giant ego about it, and I'm going to tell you how it is. Um, because I probably, if you're looking at this, you're probably in the same place I was 6, 7 months ago when I was thinking about, am I too old to do like something new, like a new career, much less something like coding or software development or web development or whatever it is. Like, is it just too late? Like, I'm 38, and I feel like there's a point where you become an old dog, right? Like, unable to learn new tricks. Uh, you become older and a little bit bitter and more rigid. So you wonder, right? Like you wonder, like, and then you like ageism is a thing in the workplace. Am I going to be hireable as a 40-year-old man or 40-year-old person trying to get into technology, right? So here I am to tell you, like, about me and what I decided to do and what I think are the important things to consider in this process. Um, So a little more, if you watch the first video, a little bit more detail about me. Um, so I got my undergraduate bachelor's degree and undergraduate psychology degree from Texas State University in 2006, and I was 23 at the time. Oh goodness. So and I had a career. I guess you can call it a career. But I had a lot of jobs as a case manager. I continued my music career throughout. I played mariachi when actually it was a really really good job to have. Played mariachi for many years. But then somewhere around 2014 or 2014, oh Jesus Christ, 2000, yeah, 2015 or so. I had wanted to do a lot of things musically, and finally in 2015, after a bunch of therapy, like I hunkered down and I started a YouTube channel, uh, where like an outlet where I could kind of express myself just a little bit, and I was very lucky. That thing it took off, probably not in a way that it's not this romance story where I had 1 million subscribers overnight or anything like that, but I had about 1,000 overnight. um, and so that kind of begged the question of the next thing, and the channel, it became its own thing, and I continued to be able to express myself through that, and I started learning new skills. I didn't know anything about recording, audio engineering. I don't know anything about video, none of that stuff, right? So that was all the process, and I was learning like on the job, technically. I didn't know anything about lighting, nothing like that. So I went for the next few years, and that became a major outlet for me, and it was successful in the way that, while I never garnered a total income from that, um, we definitely achieved a level of notoriety that was at least enough for our little niche audience, to feel good. I've taught myself woodworking, and I'm not gonna tell you that I'm this great woodworker. They're gonna make it, but what I'm getting at is that I have been the kind of person to, like, when it comes to learning a new skill, I haven't shied away from it, especially not in recent years. Not everyone has that luxury, right? Um, and so that's kind of who I am in a nutshell. Well, like a little bit about me in a nutshell. And why is that pertinent to like this decision that we're faced with here to either go to boot camp and feel old, or what is it? What are we doing? Flash forward to about a year ago, and I left a job in case management that paid very little for the area that we live in. I know that everywhere is different. I don't want to say an amount that somebody in another area go like, wow, that's a lot of money. Well, in California, like if I lived in California, I'd be broke making that salary. You know what I mean? But here it's like kind of okay, and in other places, it's a decent amount. So again, depends where you live. But for here, um, I wasn't making great, man. I was making definitely below the median salary, and I had been for most of my career. and I decided that this was the change I needed, and the reason why this specifically, because you can do anything. You can do anything you want to do. Go out and seek the training that you want, or learn the skills that you need. Like, you can do anything. I chose this because I'm a creative, and I see this as an opportunity to engage in the ultimate form of creation, which for me is basically making a game. Um, I write music, I write scripts, I write podcasts, I draw, um, I paint quite well. Um, and this was kind of a way, and I make film, right? So I wanted to like combine everything, and like video games is like it's all that plus interactive, of course, and then I thought all the things that the people in like on this side of the uh, of the work feel, and that is, can I change my life? Can I change my income? Can I make better money? Right. So you're not alone in that. I felt that way too. And I decided that I would go to boot camp. I didn't know how. And again, I was really, really, really lucky. I got a job. I got a job doing case management because I'm bilingual, and it paid an exceptional amount of money, and that was a great amount of money, no matter where you live. Like, it was a good amount, but I used that to save up. I used that opportunity to save up for boot camp, so that I could live, not so that I could pay for it, so that I could live while I went to boot camp, coding boot camp. This is for web developer. And so I had a few things go my way. I am not gonna lie, and trust me, not everybody is that lucky. There's people a lot more unlucky than me that having to face much more stiff barriers and more difficult circumstances. Uh, and so, I don't want to give the impression that you should just do what I did, because it might not be that easy for other people, and I understand that. I recognize that. So, continuing on, I got that job and I saved up, and then I started going to boot camp. Um, and it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. I'm still learning. I wouldn't even consider myself really, like, I mean, I guess you could consider me a junior developer, because I'm right out of boot camp. There's so much that there's too much. I might feel like I don't know enough, but the reality is there's a lot to know. There's so many languages and frameworks. There's so much just stuff, man. Like, that's without even getting into data structures and algorithms and just absolute craziness. So it's a lot, and it's but I say that as kind of the honest part of what it is, of what boot camp is, or what learning coding is at this age, because it's hard. But don't give up. Like, if you want to do it, like, do it. Um, and I don't think that ageism is a thing. I think that the software developers are in such short supply. Just learn your shit. Just learn your shit, and you'll be on the favored side of developers in the developer pool. It's not going to be easy. There is nothing that is going to be easy. Um, and so, if you're looking to do something that's easy, this is not that thing. This is not that thing. Can it be quick? Yeah, it could be. It could be quicker than other things you could try, right? Like, if you wanted to be a marine biologist, you like, really, like, I want to do that, right? It's gonna take a little bit longer. It's gonna take a little bit longer, and your opportunities, they're gonna be different. So this is it's quicker, sure, but that does not mean that it is easy by any stretch of the imagination. It is hard. But just practice. Like, it's like anything. It's kind of like losing weight. Like, losing weight, it's both easy and hard. I'm a big guy. I want to lose weight every day, man. I think about it. And it is easy. Like, the parts of it are easy. Just change your diet and just exercise, right? Like, that's easy. Like, the thought part of it. In practice, a little bit different. But just practice. Like, just do a little bit every day, right? Um, and sure, that's the hard part, but It's a simple formula. You know, it's hard, but it's a simple formula. How do I feel at 38? I'm going to turn 39 in a few weeks. How do I feel about going into this? Well, I'm a little older guy. I have some unique perspectives on on the employment that I've had, my experience in the workforce. Um, as I'm sure, some of the people watching might feel about themselves. Um, and I think that that's helpful. I think that that's helpful because the way you can impact the world changes. So for me as a case manager, I never thought of this. I always thought I wanted to make games, right? But I had been a case manager for like, oh God, what is it, 10, 12 years? And in that endeavor, I remember being in class and sitting and watching this lecture, like, doing one of these things. And then we were learning about databases finally, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, you know, I always wished as a case manager that the workflow had certain features and certain amenities that would be automated, that would just make life a ton easier. And when you're a case manager, when you're in your field, all you can do is wish, right? Because you don't know how this shit works. All you know do how to do is point and click. And in that moment, it hit me. I was like, I could make the thing that makes it easier for people, you know? And that's where my heart is. My heart is in the place where to help people. And in that type of case management, it was emergency influx immigration case management. I knew that if I could help the case managers, that would help people, like that would help real life children. And so that became my motivation, right? And I had never ever thought that through software development that you could impact the world that way. And I think again part of that is my experience as an older guy or as an older person. Um, and and that could be you. I mean, you may have years of experience working in construction, right? And of course, in construction, you have automated systems that blow. Probably, I don't know how it works. I've never worked construction, but I'm certain that you've got a little tablet with a touchscreen that like you have to do things, and and there's something about your work process that is just stupid. And you bring that experience into coding boot camp, and there's one day where you just go like, if they had just done this, and then like you can do that thing. Um, if you were a nurse, can you imagine if you're in the service industry? If you're in the service industry for 20 years, I knew people like that, right? And so I do feel like the diversity in the workplace helps people who are a little bit older understand system optimization, and it makes me excited. I mean, you can see I'm getting all like worked up and shit. But anyway, so should you learn coding at 40 or 50? Yeah, probably. 55 people started in my boot camp in my cohort. 20 finished, and out of those, God knows how many got the certificate. Maybe 10? Maybe? Because it's hard. But it doesn't matter. Like, learn the stuff, practice, make a change, commit to it. Don't do this thing where you're like, oh, I don't know, man. Commit and don't give up. Oh, so many days I wanted to give up. I almost gave up probably more days than I was than not. I wanted to give up so I couldn't take it. I could not take it. I felt like I was gonna crack. And there's days today that I feel like I'm gonna crack. I just like it's just too much going in, and I'm debugging some silly little thing like why won't this work? And then it winds up being, a capital letter that I forgot to put somewhere. Ah! Uh, those days, there's a lot of those in the beginning, but it's normal. And don't give up. Anyway, that's enough for today. Thank you. I appreciate you. And we'll hopefully to see you next time. And let me know what you want to hear about. I am a new guy to this stuff, so I don't know shit.